about it. Talk about it. Come on, let's talk about it. Talk about it. Come on. Just a conversation.
Good night and welcome to Just a Conversation. In the midst tonight, we have none other than Brother Daniel, Brother Matthew, and Minister Hayden. Man, it's awesome. It's real this week. It's raining outside. The blessings are flowing.
Surely.
Don't forget to hop over to our YouTube page, Just a Conversation. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like.
Please don't.
Also, you can find us on many different podcast streaming, whether it be Stitcher, whether it be Spotify, Google. You know, we're on all that good stuff. Just type in Just a Conversation, you'll find us there.
Talk to
and
him.
business inquiries. What was it? The Gmail?
Just a Conversation 1@gmail.com.
Hey, wait, I'm on it, baby. I'm on it, baby. I'm on it tonight. Listen, we're going to have a great show. We're going to have a great show. You know what I'm saying? I just know it's going to be great, period, because I'm here with the fellas, with the brothers in Christ. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I know it's going to be a good conversation. So y'all enjoy with us as we enjoy
What's
this
that
conversation.
saying? Your hat, though. It's like...
Oh, Ranger V Productions. Don't look at it too much. It's a little old. But ROV Productions, that's a company that I rock with. If you need videography, photography, whatever your needs, just let me know. I got you.
All right.
You got like a way they can reach you?
You can contact me on my personal number.
Do you really want to get that out?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Or you can contact me at my office number. I'm going to say that at the end, I'm going to say my office number. But yeah. Or you can just contact me on Instagram at ROVHype, ROVHYPE. And direct contact from there. So yeah, much love, much love. Let's get it.
Respect.
Matthew.
Yeah.
What's the topic?
Tonight's topic, why when God makes it easy, we make it hard for ourselves.
Why when God make it easy, we make it hard for ourselves? So go ahead, tell us why.
I'm gonna be honest. It's like because I feel like that's the best way I could be. I make it hard for myself sometimes because I'm stubborn. Because it's like sometimes God is open up certain doors to me, and it's like because I feel a certain way, or because I don't feel like this person is coming at me the right way, I'll block that blessing.
Okay.
I mean, and then it's like later on, hindsight hits in, and then it's like, wait, God was opening the door for you. Why you personally close that door? And every time that happens, I'm like, Jesus, forgive me. Can you open up another door for me?
Well, we've been talking a lot about tradition for the past couple of weeks. How to break tradition, and when you go back to stories in the Bible, you notice where God made it easy for even Adam and Eve. He made it easy for them. Where it's like, listen, like
super simple.
You ain't much got to worry about a garden. You know what I mean? It will reproduce itself. We do everything that it has to do.
Yep.
You just have to go out there and just live.
Yep.
So, I remember Apostle Preacher mentioned one time, he said, listen, we weren't designed to sweat. But now we have to sweat because why? Because we wanted to do things our way. We want to pretty much take matters in our own hands. Same thing with Moses, one of the greatest pastors ever in the Bible. What he did? He went up there, got the 10 Commandments, and then he smashed it. So then God was like, listen, now you're going to have to come and do some work. Now you got to sweat, and, carve these out and, pretty much do what I've already done for you and made it easy for you. So it's just like a human, it's like we just keep following the same old trends. God makes stuff easy for us. God give us, wisdom. He gives us all creativity. He gives us all this. And he's like, listen, go out there and use it. But we're so stuck into past, we're so still having our past following us or, pretty much stuff that we, and not understanding like the Bible is like pretty much a basic instruction before leaving earth. So we see these things before us, but we just still fall right back in the same old trap.
But I feel like when it comes to even following instructions, a lot of times why people don't follow instructions through fear. I mean, you have those that are prideful, those that are stubborn, you say, but then you have those that fear what could happen if they just wholeheartedly trust in God and do what He says. Cause like you'll see young elite old, you'll see young kids who will just whatever if they hear from God, they honestly hear from God, you see them elevate. You know what I'm saying, to preaching before they are 10 or preaching while they're still young, but giving an actual word or a message And if you honestly just follow what he said like a child, just listen to what he says, don't question what he says, and just do anything. Of course, it's gonna be simple. But when you fear the unknown, when you fear what's possibly gonna happen, you tend to hold yourself back. But you holding yourself back is what makes you hold back your blessing. You're holding back more than just yourself. You're holding back your actual blessing. You're holding back where you need to be at. You're holding back your direction. You're holding back your footsteps because you're stopping yourself because you feel like I'm a little scared. God's telling me to go this way, but that way looks a little safer. You know what I'm saying? Like from what you take, what you see and what you hear, and the outside world, and you use that as direction for where you need to go. And God's like, just stop using everything else and just listen to what I'm saying, so I can bless you properly.
I think sometimes people are afraid of success. And the reason why I say that is because you could get an awesome idea, and instead of putting it to work, you sleep on it, and then you just forget about it. And you could actually see where the thing that was brought to you is like a thing that could be very successful if you put work. That's why the Bible says faith without works is dead. So when you start putting the works behind that faith, and you start to act on it and do it, you can become successful.
Of course.
And it's like anything in life. If you don't keep on practicing and keep on going at it, then guess what's nothing will really happen because you're not putting your all into it. And when you start putting your all into something, you will see a reward from it.
Of course.
And it's just like a lot of people, they're comfortable at just like, okay, I'm at this part of my career, I'm at this part of the job, I'm good right here, I don't want to go no further.
Yeah.
Because moving further brings more stress. Moving further brings more pressure.
Of course.
And a lot of people don't want to deal with the pressure. It's like, okay, you can make, up to 6 figures a year, but man, for me to make 6 figures a year, I got to get up out my bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yep. I can't sleep until 8 o'clock and being at 9 o'clock like the regular people. Now I got to go out earlier. Yep. So a lot of people just even though it looks easy or it was made simpler, it was made easy, it's still got to put some work behind it. And when you start putting that work behind it, you'll see the rewards. And I just feel like a lot of people they just don't want to be successful. They don't want it. They just want to. They look at like, okay, God, get me out of this situation, get me out of this, get me out of that, and God provide a way and get them out of the situation. But at the end of the day, they get themselves back in that situation because they fall right back into the old traps and the whole mindset.
It's easier to not try as hard and do okay, or to not try as hard and get kind of blessed, than try really hard and get over blessed. Why? Because it's like what I'm putting in blessings, because it's like if you really put in your all, God will wholeheartedly bless you, and you receive everything you should receive. But you also know that the more work you're putting in, like you said, the harder it gets. So you're talking about the walk with God, there's levels. So what I'm saying, people usually don't like to get past a certain level. They just want to get to the level where they can come to church, worship, and then go home. Because that's easy. It's easy. You can everybody go to church and just amen, hallelujah, praise. You can get a little spirit on you. You know what I'm saying? Jump a little bit, walk around, sing, be joyous. Go home.
I feel like I read this book at the library a while ago, and it was talking about how the unknown is uncomfortable, and how human beings, they're attracted to consistency, comfort. So it's like
human beings are
they're more interested in comfort. So it's like
consistency.
Some people. Okay. So, but the thing is, the main thing that I was getting at is that people, whenever they find they try something and it's uncomfortable, they're like, nah. Like one of my biggest issues, I need to go work out, and it's like I'll work out a good few weeks, and then it's like after a while I really want to get up this early.
Fall right back in the same mindset,
and I fall back, and it's the same, and that's the thing with most folks. So it's when the main thing that you need to do, or it's not a clear path to get there, or it just doesn't make sense, or it just unknown to you. It's like it's easier for you to like, oh, go back to the things that you do know, the comforts that you've enjoyed prior to this.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people don't really become successful, because the person who's successful is usually that guy who's like, okay, blind faith in whatever they're doing. This will work out for me. Like, what? This is going to work out for me. I'm going to do everything I can in order to make this work out for me. If it means I got to take some extra courses in fields I never even messed with before, in order for this thing to work out for me, I'll do that. And it's like, that's why I feel like a lot of these bankers and people working Wall Street, you see that they're able to switch over to something else, because all their life they just been gambling with the unknown. Like, I'm gonna make some profit. You know what? I'm tired of this. I'm gonna try something else, and then make some more profit. I'm like, I respect that, but it's hard to develop that mindset, and a lot of people don't want to put in an effort to do it.
If you're called to do something, to me, like, God made it easy for you to walk into it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The problem is that our human will comes to mind.
Yeah.
The problem is that fear comes to mind. The problem is that, like, people talking about you comes to mind.
Laziness.
And all that stuff, like, it kind of drives, like, this thing in your mindset where it's like, listen, I can't do this. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, you look at, like, say, for instance, Jonah. God was like, listen, go down to Nineveh. And, like, Jonah's like, listen, I'm not going because I know if I go down there, you're going to, like, forgive them. So that was his own human will. Instead of following what God wanted him to do, that was his own human will. Tell him, listen, I'm not going because if I go, God going to forgive them. And I don't want God to forgive them. And God could, like, make a way clear. God could, like, listen, like, okay, you open this business or open this ministry and do this and just follow me. Think about Noah. Noah had to build something that was never seen, that was never done. And Noah had to depend on God 100%, And he was like, listen, I gotta hear everything that God is saying. I have to, pretty much, like, depend on God. Everything has to be about God. It can't be about me. The thing with us is that we depend on us and not God.
Yep.
So that's why, like, even when God is like, listen, I want you to go forth and I want you to do this, and step out on faith and listen to what I'm saying. It's okay. We start doing it, but then we lose track and we lose sight. And then that's when it becomes difficult, and that's when we got to start sweating. Because, God if God is telling you to do something, he's made that way clear. He's made that path clear. And, it's just for us. Yeah, you're going to go through some stumbles. Yeah, you're going to go through some hurdles because he wants to know how much you want it. But some of the hurdles and the struggles that we go through is because we just want to do stuff on our own and just forget about God. Say that we start walking, think about growing up. You're walking with your dad or your mom, you're holding their hands. And then now, guess what? You start develop that instinct. Well, man, I could run. So now I'm going to run in front of them, not knowing that there's dangers before you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could run out and a car hit you. You could run out and anything could happen to you.
Yeah.
But if you stay on the same path with God, you'll trust me. It will be like simple. But we just have that whole human will about us. We're like, listen, nah, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to go about it and do it this way.
And sometimes we like when we get punished, which is weird.
I think that's what it is.
We like
the
because it's
punishment.
like
So you said we masochists?
a little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit, because like we like knowing that okay, guys, like it's like a reassurance that this is what you should be doing, and it's also like oh man, I really shouldn't, or I shouldn't have been doing that because this look what could happen to me. You know what I'm saying? If nothing ever happens, you just feel like, well, I mean, I can either choose to follow God, or choose my direction, because my direction, nothing really bad is happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really going through nothing crazy, so maybe my direction isn't that bad. Maybe God's direction, is good, but mine is okay as well. But when God hits you with something, you're just like, oh, okay, that's the right way. That's the right way. But sometimes we feel like we have to go through trials and certain trials that we create.
Yeah.
Because God gives you trials for the bigger issues. But we want to go through trials for anything. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you don't want to do it. When you don't want to do it, that's when you like, man, God, if that's what it is, and you put something, let something happen so to show me a sign. Like you show you a sign, the sign is gonna be something you don't want. You know what I'm saying? And then when you realize, then they show it, but it's gonna show you that's the right path to go down. But I feel like people just unintentionally like want to get punished, so they're forced to go do something, than to willingly just do it themselves and not have to deal with the issues that come with the repercussions.
And there will be a lot of repercussions. It's like, I always tell, somebody that's close to me, like, why do you wait, for like last minute to like leave and like, go to work, and then you're rushing, and then everything about your whole morning is you're rushing, 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 rushing. And a poor simple person could just be like, well, you know what, I start work at 9:30. I left my house at 8:30, so I'm gonna take my sweet time. And now because you're supposed to be to work at 9, and it's 8:45, and you're nowhere near your job. Now you're rushing, and you're in the mindset of like, yo, get out my way, da 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 da. And yeah, you yelling at everything.
Exactly.
And that's the same thing that we do is we create these problems,
Issues,
bro.
yeah.
We create our own issues, instead of just like walking in alignment and just doing. And what I mean, it's sometimes we do it, what I mean, and we go through the learning curve, and we still don't learn.
Nope.
It's like we go down that road again
Right
and
down
again and again.
It's a fresh start, fresh level, good to go. Finally cleaned up the issues before, and then a new issue appears. And just like, I deal with it. I deal with it later.
Yeah.
I give it some time. Let it fester. Then it gets worse. And you're like, oh God, I might. Damn, maybe I should have took care of it right then. It's like a disease. Like you get a cut, and instead of cleaning the cut immediately, you just let it fester, and then now they got to take out a piece of your leg or take out a piece of your arm, and then you get another cut. And you're like, dealing with it's kind of annoying. It's gonna hurt a little bit to deal with it right now, but let me let it sit for a little bit. Come back to it. It's like you just dealing with more pain. You taking pieces out of yourself that you don't need to do.
You know what I ask myself? A lot of times I ask myself is like, you hear people always talk about the children of Israel, right? Mm-hmm. How they wandered around the wilderness for 40 years.
Yeah.
Here we are, 2020, doing the same thing. So when are we gonna get it? We like to talk about them. You know what I mean? How they lost generation in the wilderness, and they lost this and they lost that. But have we ever stopped and looked at ourselves? Like, we're doing the same thing. And we just keep going around the wilderness, and we just like, are we not learning ourselves? Are we just not paying attention? Are we just not seeing the transition like right in front of us? Like, listen, like, you're doing the same thing.
If you see like how the world works, like how it goes back, it goes forward, it makes a progressive move forward, and then it goes right backwards. Like, so like technology will move forward, right? So there's advances in technology, but then fashion will go backwards. So first it was colorful clothes, right? More design, something crazy, something funky.
And then it start getting tight.
Now we back to homeless. Like, no, we not even actually. It was cleaner. It was cleaner back in the day. People used to dress cleaner back in the day, and it used to have less technology. Then the technology grew, and now people are dressing like Kanye West.
I don't know how you dress yourself.
Okay, he has a fashion brand, and he dresses like literally everything's cut up, old. It looks kind of worn down. It looks old.
Oh, like the cut up jeans fad?
Nah, it's more like
shirts and
it's
stuff
just
like that.
super baggy clothes that you see homeless people wear. Yeah. So, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by regressing. Like, people have a tendency to just kind of go back. Nowadays, 70s fashion is a thing. Like, in 2020, 70s fashion is a thing for young kids. Like, 15, 16, 17. They love that old baggy jeans and that. Like, that's a style. That's a trend now. So, it's like the world is in cycles. We just cycle over old stuff. I'm pretty sure corsets were they were definitely huge back in the 1600s. Back in the day, you're right. 60s, yeah. And then they kind of got a little thing, then it died off a little bit. People still wore them. People still wore them, but it wasn't like mainstream. It wasn't mainstream anymore. And then now it's mainstream again. You know what I'm saying? Like we always backtrack, consistently backtracking, and we're still doing it to this day. So, I mean, I think it's a human thing where we just can't let go of certain things, or they always want to make the old new. Like a new twist on something old, but it's just the same thing. You just doing the same thing over and over again. And we, even with our lives and how we walk, we still do the same thing. It didn't work back then, but it might work now. It's like, you know what I'm saying? 10 years later, you know what I'm saying? It might work now. If it didn't work back then, there's a reason why it didn't work back then. It's not working. If it's still not working now, let's say you try it.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I'm gonna cut you off.
Low key.
It's not even low key.
That's high key. You're right.
Exactly. So it's like they said that
a
sign of creative of
who's they?
So they
a sign of what?
So a sign of insanity is trying to do something and doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So it's like just pretty much you saying people are crazy, man.
People are crazy, bro.
We live in a
I
crazy
don't
world.
accept that because I know I'm not crazy,
Oh,
bro.
all right.
I just said people in general. I didn't mean like everyone though. Not everyone is
Nah, I believe everybody
crazy,
is
but
crazy.
yeah, we
You hear
have.
that? He said, I believe everybody.
I'm not quoting myself.
It's just
saying
listen,
that,
listen.
But
It's those who get locked up and those who are still on the street. That's all I see it, man.
Those who get locked up and those who stay.
Yeah, you never seen people get Baker rap? Like they
Baker
put them in the insane ward. It's like, in other words, there's those who react and those who like keep everything up here,
hashtag segue.
or they write a book.
Hashtag segue.
I think you need to write a book.
Hey, that's facts. Don't
They make movies, man.
I think you need to make a movie too.
No, but I really do feel like people we tend to fall off our own paths because of ourselves. Humans are our biggest. People are their own biggest. What's the word?
Enemy.
Downfall.
Downfall was good. I like that
Yeah.
one. I like that was nice. That was
We are our own downfall.
We
to
are.
be honest.
Like we cause
we
it.
Kill everything that have to do with
I don't
it.
know anybody that can tell me that a lot of the issues in their life they didn't cause. Now there are people that there's certain issues that you honestly didn't cause. It just happened to you.
Yes, a
And,
lucky one.
You know what I'm saying? No, unlucky. A lot of times I say situations, bad situations where you have to go through and it's like you were just born into it or something happened and it really wasn't your fault. You just were.
In the wrong
But
place.
even
at
if
the
you're
right
born
time.
into something, you can still get out of it.
No, I mean like the initial you going through it.
Right.
Not get you can get out of it, but in general, there's certain people that are just situations.
You know something.
It's
that
not
always,
their fault.
You know, it's something that always puzzles me. And you know, when you think about the story of Naomi and Oprah and Ruth.
Yeah.
You know, and Oprah was like, listen, like Oprah.
Oprah.
She was like, listen, like,
I said,
man, I can't roll with y'all no more. I'm done. I'm out. You know,
Yeah.
I'm clearing it.
Like I love you,
And,
but
and the thing is that relationships, you know, everything in life is a relationship. Like us, like coming together, us, you know, hanging out. That's a relationship. And when it's time for people to go, bro, let them go. And the thing is that a lot of people, you know, they hold on to this thing that needs to go. And they don't let it go. And when they don't let it go, that same thing. It's like, think about like Saul. The prophet told Saul, said, listen, King Saul.
Yeah.
He said, listen, kill all the Amalekites.
Let it
And
go.
you just kill whatever you want to kill and spare what you want to spare. And the
Exactly.
same Amalekites, the same thing that came back and killed them.
Yep.
So, you know, it's like you said, we create our own enemies, we create our own issues, we create
Facts.
everything that have to do with us, because when you have someone in your life that wants to leave and you hold on to them, you're hurting yourself.
Of course.
You're hurting yourself when all you got to
100%.
say, you know what, listen, I'm just going to deal with this hurt. It's going to be temporary.
Yeah.
And it's going to hurt for a while. But then guess what? I'm going to move on. I'm going to be good.
Yeah.
But instead, like, you just keep holding on to this hurt and you hold on to this hurt and you hold on to this hurt. And then you go before God and you're like, God, why? And God is like, I ain't much gonna answer you no more.
Yeah, of course.
I already done
you
gave you.
know
I'm giving
it's-
you scenarios. I'm giving you everything right there in front of you.
Come on.
You read the Bible, you preach it, you talk it, you say everything, but
Yeah.
you're not believing it and you're not doing what you need to do.
Because God knows, man. God knows. It's like telling you, it's like talking to your father or your mother and be like, Mom, listen. The teacher said I did that, okay? The principal said I did that. The people in class said I did that. But listen, I didn't do it, okay? All right, listen, I did do it. I'm in trouble now, okay? We going through a lot, all right? But it's not going to happen again.
It is gonna happen
Two weeks
again.
later, Mom, listen, it happened again, but it wasn't supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like situations led me to, and then 2 weeks later it happened. This is Mom. At this point, just beat me because we know what we just had. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's a cycle that you creating for yourself for no reason other than boredom, other than laziness,
Attention.
other than attention, other than
good.
pride, other than stubbornness. Like it's usually God, because
Pride.
God is so simple when it comes to stuff, to instructions on how He tells you to do stuff. He just tells you exactly what to do, and He doesn't leave nothing out. He just tells you do this. All you got to do is just do it. All you have to do is listen. But it is so hard to listen to something if you don't know the full story about what's gonna happen. Because we always want to know what's gonna happen. Like we always gonna know what you gonna bless us with, when the blessing gonna come. How am I gonna get blessed? You gonna hear my
When I'm
mama?
gonna get blessed?
What, you know what I'm saying? Where is I'm gonna get a car? Like you know what I'm saying? People always we want. That's the thing. We want so much.
And we overthink everything.
Listen, we want so much that we can't allow ourselves to be blessed.
So I was taking a test a few weeks ago on Sunday.
Yeah,
And
I remember that one. I remember that test.
so the thing
All my
is,
Americans.
the questions are very straightforward, but because I'm doing my own personal research, and it's like I'm like, oh, you know what? It could be this, it could be that, but it's like, nah, it's just one simple answer, bro. Why you give me all of this?
So what happened, Matt?
Yeah, so I did not get that right.
You want to explain the situation?
Nah, we're gonna leave it where it
We're
lies.
gonna leave it where it is.
We're gonna let all things bury
Just know my
stay.
brother created a situation he didn't have to create. Okay, and it led to his downfall. But he learned from that. You know.
Did he? Really ask yourself, did he really
that's
learn?
the truth. No, I think he did learn from that specific situation. So we don't learn from all of them because we still go back to certain trends. But some situations it hits you enough, you're like, okay, that's not the way to go. That's not, I feel like he learned. I feel like he did learn from that situation.
Did you learn?
Did you learn, brother?
It hurt.
Yeah,
That's what he's saying.
He still feel the hurt from this. Hopefully that sticks. Hopefully that hurt stays with
But
you.
why do we have to go through the hurt?
That
Because sometimes that's the only way
want
for us to
to.
learn.
We want to feel the pain,
want to
bro.
feel
Listen.
We're in love with pain, bro.
I'm telling you,
Listen,
yo, it's
I already
crazy.
told you I'm hard headed. So it's like when my mom, when we were younger, listen. I remember when my mom used to teach us timetables. That ain't learning it extremely quickly.
Extremely.
My sister, second best. I'm dead last. When I said same things that they took on like this, I don't even know why, but it's like it was not sticking until they beat me so much. Just
You need to learn your timetables?
oh, my mom is very strict on education.
Listen, we're Jamaican.
And we're
in the
You're
conversation.
Jamaican, so let me ask you a
Yes,
question.
Caribbean.
So you're gonna beat your child to learn timetables?
no, we're gonna
Well,
follow
different
this.
upbringing. Different upbringing after talk. So
Different time, and
different times, different people, different places. You know, are they gonna get beaten? Surely.
Honestly, some of
But
the
it's not-
stuff,
it's
some
probably
of the
not gonna
stuff
be
we
over
went through was
timetables.
cruel, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's not gonna be over time, but it wasn't that bad. It was that bad. You know what
But
I'm
bro,
saying?
you know, like
belts and rulers.
if you grow up with that mentality and grow up with that mindset, you'll grow up and do the same thing. Like,
Of course.
your child will just like, you ever heard like, and I hear like American people say it all the time, like they'll be like, oh, like don't talk too loud, you're raising my light bill.
Oh no!
What is that?
I heard that. Hold on,
That's a nice one.
That do
I've
sound
heard
kind of
before,
dope.
like, you
That's
talking too
like
loud, like you're raising my
light
light
bill.
bill.
Yeah, that raising voice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I
And
think
it's like when you have that living room that have all the plastic on it and you stick to it.
oh
like,
no, negative,
like,
negative.
Get off me, plastic.
I think what for
My
me.
grandma has that to this day.
Oh no, I can't. do that.
My
I don't
grandma
even like
did
sit.
it, and then they like nah and ripped it all up.
Yeah, I can't sit
Got
on
rid
that,
of
bro.
it.
I cannot stand that. It doesn't make sense.
Jamaica's 90 degrees and you sitting on plastic.
Yeah, like come on now.
And you only got like a
come on
regular
now.
fan. You don't got air conditioning.
Yeah,
Like,
okay. Find out breeze there. Say, listen, let's not, please, let's not. So, like I was saying, you know what I'm saying, old time. Like I know for a fact I'm beating my kids at some point, but it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be over timetables. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not. Most likely not.
Sitting there, 1 times 1 is 2.
Yeah. I feel like I've.
I
Noticed,
didn't get 1 time 1 wrong. Bro.
Listen.
My 1 time table was wrong. It was when I got up to the higher numbers.
What I realized, what I see, I didn't like beating. So my mentality was like, I don't like beating, so I'm gonna learn it fast, so I don't have to get beaten no more. But I feel like for my kids, it's gonna be more like talking it out. Like, I feel like reasoning makes more sense than beatings.
That's what I think.
I do think reasoning makes more sense. Beating,
Explain.
and I don't want to beat my child, whatever my child is. I don't want to beat them because I'm upset. I want to beat them because there's a reason behind it.
You say explain. How do you explain to a child I was beating you to learn your timetables. Like that's like weird, bro. Like having do you know why I just beat you?
Yeah.
No, not really. Well, because you don't know your timetables. When you can actually sit
Sit
there
there
and
and
teach
teach
them.
them.
Yeah, they did.
So when you're beating them, it doesn't. You're not teaching them nothing.
Oh,
No.
that's-
The thing is, they
that's actually
taught,
how we learned.
They taught us,
Yeah,
but it was
it's retention. It was
Yeah.
the retention aspect.
so. It's like
Them
it's
said,
like
go study it.
we study together, and then we have to do our personal studies,
I
and then
understand that.
after that, it's like, okay, come back to me and tell me what you
So,
what you
so
remember.
it wouldn't even be all of them. It would be sections. It'd be like, hey, today we're gonna do 1 times tables to your 5 times tables. Sit there for like 3 hours studying it. Go over there with her in person.
And
She's
then
looking at me.
You gotta recite it.
It's definitely a belt to the side, but you know she ain't hit me with the belt. We just going over it. The belt is there for just a little fear factor, but the fear allows it to stick a little harder.
Nah,
so
it didn't work for me.
well, for me, different people, different times. So if the fear allowed it to stick for me because I think it was the first time she hit me when I forgot. That's when it really stuck. So the belt on the side of the bed made sense. But she go over it. I go in the room, do my thing, and my room was right next to her room. So like she be right here, and then for some reason my mom can't sleep like that. So she's a light sleeper. So like. I remember I tried to sneak out one time. I tried to, put one foot out, and I wasn't fat then. Yeah, for all those confused, you know what I'm saying? I used to be skinny at one point in my life. But I was like what, 6 or 5 or something like that? But whatever. I was trying to walk out, and I knew she was there. So I was like, we tried to sneak past her. So I creep, and there was no creep. I'm talking, I was a ninja. I really got through this. She was like, Daniel,
Where you going?
where you going? You ready to see your timetable? I was like, Mom, you awake? I didn't want to wake you up. That's why I was going to the kitchen. But yeah, she definitely didn't beat me that day. But my brother definitely got a little piece of that.
That's the difference. Like you're talking about. That's 2 different mindsets, 2 different people. So where you saw the belt, you're like, listen, like, nah, I'm gonna learn this thing.
Yeah.
Where he saw the belt, it's like, man, I ain't nothing. I love that belt. Come whoop me.
Yeah.
I can't agree or disagree.
That's how his action.
exactly
That's what his
it is.
action said. His
Yeah.
That's my
actions.
action. I was
So
terrified
that's
mentally.
what
So it's like, okay, I see the path, I see the way, man. That's an awesome way, God. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but
that's so clear. That's
I'm gonna
so
slide this way
beautiful.
though.
But
I'm
now
gonna go
I
this
see
way.
this side that got I see the alligators. I see all the
turmoil,
bad things. Yeah,
a little
I see
struggle,
everything.
little problems.
So
That ain't
man,
nothing.
I don't want that.
That
right
ain't
there.
nothing.
I don't want that.
Little hurt.
That way.
Let's
You know
say
what I'm
You know what I mean?
different
So
road.
you
Little
actually, now you
destruction.
can actually see the mindset of
whatever.
people.
Yeah.
You know,
Of
some
course.
people will see the fear and be like, man, I don't
Hey,
want to go down there. I don't want to
listen.
go down that road. I don't want to face that no more. But some people is like, man, give me that whooping.
Yeah.
Give me that beating.
Some people walk right in danger.
Walk right into danger.
Right in
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember how I started remembering it because it wasn't a beating. Because like they tried it multiple different ways.
Yeah. It was a.
Well, you know what gets me?
Yeah.
Some people come to the store and they steal.
Yeah.
And you catch them, right? And like, you bring them in the office, and as soon as they go in there, like, yo, let me pay for it. Nah, bro, you messed all that
Man,
up.
you already
You had the
stole,
money,
bro.
why'd you just pay for it?
Yeah. Why'd you steal
Why'd
it?
you just deal with it in the first place?
You doing too much.
Now you got to deal with the repercussion of this thing right
But
now.
you knew there was repercussions.
Yeah.
Like,
But see, people know it's wrong.
They
know
walk
things
straight
is
into
not- and
danger.
They walk right into
But
it.
they love that through. Listen,
And then we
sometimes.
preach about the children of Israel. Going around the wilderness.
Yeah.
40 years.
But
We're
why?
doing the same thing.
Yeah. But people love that danger aspect.
They love it.
They don't like getting caught.
We enjoy it.
People don't like getting caught. They don't like getting in trouble
They
for
say,
what
oh,
they
it's
do.
living on the edge. No, it's not living on the edge.
It's not living
necessary.
on. But why did the people of Israel walk around for 40 years?
It was an 11-day trip.
But it took 40 years.
Why did it take 40 years?
And their mindset was still
Come
stuck in
on.
Egypt, bro.
Come on.
Yeah.
They still want to live on the edge of Egypt.
Still want to be.
They want to get that beaten. They want to get that beaten. They want to, you know what I'm saying? They want to live in the little houses. They don't promised land.
Promised land, man. I don't want that promised land.
Promised land.
It's like because they were comfortable, man.
Did you see Egypt? Egypt was beautiful.
My thing
We
is,
built it. We built Egypt. We built that. Why would we want to leave? I mean, we were getting beaten. We barely got food.
Barely got food.
They low-key
But
tried to kill us.
Technically, they were working for food.
Yeah, technically, we weren't free,
No, they weren't.
nah,
but
you
our
weren't.
mindsets made us feel like
But you
slavery
said that,
was
you said that one time.
freedom.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds.
Yeah, but
The minute we free our minds, I understand that, we have a clear path and we have a clear way. We just got to go down it, and just continue on that path
Yeah.
and enjoy the path and deal with the little hurdles. You know, and the little stuff that God's gonna throw at you to make sure you're still hungry. You know, it's just like, you know, if you're going to school and you're doing your work, you have a test. But the test is not to like knock you off or not to doom you or to say you're stupid or you're dumb. No, the test is to push you to the next level and to get you to the level that you want to be. So I'd rather go through God's test than to go through the test that I create for myself. Because most of the ones that I create for myself is just not good. They're not good. You know, when I create that for myself, I end up hurting me. It makes some decision, you can just lose everything. So, like I said, it's a perfect example of both of y'all here. This one, Daniel, he see the belt and he's like, hey,
Yep.
that belt hurt. I don't
It
want
do.
no part of that.
It sure did.
Listen,
When you like, Ma, you
Mama
wasting
had a heavy hand, boy.
You like, Ma, you wasting your energy. Pow, all that. That's good.
Wasting
I like
your
that.
energy.
Ah, yeah, Ma, that feels good. Whoop me some more.
Wait, but she put her
I
whole
don't know
back
about I
into
feel
that head.
good because it's like you going to the
What?
far there, boy.
She put her whole back into the head. I don't know about that.
She
I remember
felt
one time she sat me. Let me stop. She
Stop.
sat me
Yeah, that's
down.
why I do that too.
No, I mean, I deserved it. I deserved it. Listen, I deserved it. This is because I used to talk a lot. I still kind of talk a lot, but whatever.
Still
But I used to talk a lot at school, and then I remember one time I got so upset because I was talking, but everyone else, I do mean everyone else was talking. But my teacher walked to the door for some reason. She zoomed in on me because I was always, I was loud and boisterous, whatever. When everyone was talking, she said, "Hey, everybody, be silent. Don't talk." I think I told somebody something. I just leaned over. I wasn't even being loud. She just looked in it, saw me, opening my mouth. She's like, "Oh, dang, you going to detention?" I'm like, "Ma'am, I wasn't the only one talking. Everyone else was talking in the classroom." Everybody looked at me. They were like, "Damn, we're the only one talking." I was like, "Bro, teach. Everybody else is." I said, "Cool." I was already getting in trouble a lot for talking. My mom was like, she sat me down. She said, "Dang, why do you talk so much?" I was like, I wasn't even. Wham! Oh, he gave me the right hook. I said, "Dang."
right
like,
hook.
"Ma-"
It's a slap, bro. You
No,
gotta
it's
get
the
it
right.
right.
My bad. It's the palm of her
Hook
hand.
is a fist.
Calm down. It's the palm of her hand decided to retract part of my face. So it was like
Retrace.
Retract.
part of my face. So it was
my
like
fault.
bow. Then I was like, "Mom," she's like, "No." Then she asked me the same question. This is how you know some kids learn. Certain people just learn differently. She was like, "Why do you talk so much?" And I was like, I wasn't even. Bam!
I was like, Daniel, shut up.
I was like, then she asked me, she was like, why do you talk? I was like, "Mommy, I was like, God. And after a while, I was like, yo, she keeps hitting me when I talk. So she was like, "Daniel, why do you talk so much?" Same exact tone. That's what's throwing me off. I was like, she's like, good. Hopefully you learn to use that when you go to school. Don't talk no more. Speak.
But did it work though?
Negative. Not at all. Terrible listener. Always talking. But I use it for good, you know what I'm saying, later on.
That's
so
awesome. Yeah, use it for the good.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, in every negative.
So school wasn't
you know,
that
positive.
Always a positive.
Yep.
So school wasn't that good. Respect.
No, I ended up doing debate. So my talking was
Oh, he
my
actually
talking
got.
ended up being a blessing in disguise. So yeah. To this day.
So did you enjoy the beating?
Me?
Yeah.
For me, it's more like, all right, I'm already in trouble. I'm not gonna run from it.
So what about today? What did you teach you anything, or you just still still
Oh.
going around the wilderness?
When you talking about for that thing that I messed up on? Yeah. No, I made sure to straighten out for that. I didn't fail my stuff.
Sorry. Talking.
Listen.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Pride is
I'm not even trying to laugh
is
right
not. Pride does not get you anywhere in life, especially like when you're not like doing the necessary steps to
Yep.
make you're not doing the necessary steps.
I agree.
That's true.
Because it's like, because the thing is, if you're all right, so my quiz, I failed it. They like, yo, I could do a makeup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and then they're like, oh, they tried me, and I was like, what? That one, right? I'm not gonna mention no names, but
He
gotta
try
understand,
you
right?
that bad, brother. You
Gotta
just let it
understand.
get to you.
So it got to me, and then I did a stupid thing, and then I didn't like do the necessary steps afterwards to
Not
make
at
sure
all.
that stupid thing work out for my good.
Consequence.
And
Yep.
and then I had to feel the consequence.
That's how I go. Listen, I'm not going to segue. So we're talking about the children of Israel walking 40 years on a trip that should have took 11 days. So
does this sound?
that sounds wild. That just sounds wild. Do you know God is purposely making them not know where they're going?
Bro, it's like you're going on a road trip and you're like, yo, we're finna go to Atlanta. It takes 9 hours.
And
12 hours in, you're like, bro.
where are we? Like, why are we not?
Nah,
there
it's
yet?
like
And you haven't like
you driving on the safe
something
road.
hasn't clicked in your mind like, bro, something is wrong.
Wrong.
You just
can't
gonna
you
keep
pull
going.
over and ask for directions?
You
It's
really-
like
it
And
took
then
you
you
12
went,
hours.
you went through one leader,
Yeah.
and now you're in another leader,
Yeah,
and now you're like, bro, like y'all don't get it.
it really took.
Like your first leader is gone.
Listen,
the one you
it-
talked
it-
about, the one you all this stuff about, he's gone. Now you have another leader was in his shadow, like, and you still ain't there.
But see, that's why they said the young will lead. That's why the young lead. The younger ones.
yo,
lead.
Danny,
I
watch your
don't
tone.
think the mature audience likes that when we say that.
Exactly.
That's life because
It is life.
I'm be honest with you. People used to use maps to travel the country.
Yeah.
Then they start.
Yes.
Hey,
GPS is the
GPS
thing.
is king, but still,
Sometimes I think we lost you.
but
Sometimes
yeah,
it
it'll
does,
take
but
you.
yeah.
It'll take you for a night.
Sometimes it does, but I'm saying like.
Turnpike is crazy.
But the younger kids will probably be like, listen, just use GPS. Like if I talk to an older person, he might be like, I'm gonna use
landmarks.
landmarks, or I'm gonna use a map
map.
to travel. And then young kids like, we just use
is that?
GPS.
Yeah, what's the matter?
We just
But the
use
thing
GPS.
is, a map ain't that bad.
map isn't
sometimes,
that bad.
because it's like it takes you some interesting routes.
A map isn't that bad, but you can still end up getting not, you know what I'm saying, not going to your destination. But let me get back to the Israelites. They couldn't find where they needed to go, but God knew He wanted the younger generation to go in it because their mindsets were different. They were open to change. They're open to understanding that things are going to be different. They're open to understanding that you can be more than just a slave. You can be owners of
They
your.
didn't have that slave mentality. So
They did because they were still young. So God used the young to change a generation. He had to get rid of a generation, but he used the next generation to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, one of the things I found weird though about it is the fact that whenever you trapped under the slave mentality, in order to break it, is out of your generation some certain sacrifices. I don't know if I want to make them, but at the same time, I know that I have to make them because it's like I'm just hoping that it doesn't require me having given up my life. That's because it's like breaking that mentality of like when you're just trapped. It's hard for you to see anything outside of that, and it's like the work you have to put in order to break it.
It's
It's
necessary.
hard.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
It's necessary for growth.
And it's necessary for you as an individual to exactly what you say, grow.
Yeah.
You know, you can't born a baby and stay a baby and you're 40 years old.
Facts.
You have to
Facts.
grow. And when you start growing, stuff start to shift inside of you. Your bones start to grow. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna ache. You know, you ever it's like I notice my son sometimes like this kid just like don't know how tall and how big his foot is getting. Cause like he'll just walk into things. I'm like, bruh. Like, don't you understand? Like you're growing.
Yeah, growing. Yeah.
You know, it's
gotta
like
pay
I watch
attention.
him like he'll like come in the car and he's like you hear like a tumbling behind you like
Right, bro.
he's just bringing in his feet, bro.
That's
You're
it.
like, bro, you're growing. Bro.
Not a
Everything
kid,
everything you have
Baby no more.
to adjust with your growth. You know, you
You
have
got
to
some
keep-
grown ladies listening.
the more you're growing, you know,
You catch it?
the more you grow, the more you have to adjust with your growth. And you know, to me, like you know, when you change your mindset, you know, then you will adjust with your growth. And the children of Israel just never did. That's why it took them 40 years. And then now, you know, here are we, which you know, we have that path, we have that way to desire and walk clear and just deal with the little hurdles that God is going to put us through. But we rather. You know, what do you call those people that enjoy pain, bro? I'm still trying to remember.
Masochist.
Say it again?
Masochist.
Masochists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are masochists. We love pain, bro.
We've been
We enjoy
raised
it.
through it.
Some people learn from it. Some people that's the only way they can learn.
But that's how we were born into it. The moment someday
Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve sinned, we've been born through pain.
So if you're born in filth, you're gonna stay in filth.
Hey, some people are willing to. I
Some
don't
people
want to
Again,
be.
some people are what?
Are willing to.
So it's a will. So
Yeah.
you can't change it.
Of course.
Exactly.
I
I ain't
Bro,
trying
anything.
to- I'm not trying to stay in
you
there.
Change
think, you
anything.
think in this day and age, like, think about, like, we got freed from a land and we're walking around. You think I'm like, yo, Danny, bruh, 11 days, bro. I mean, I think we on, like, day 20 now. What's going on, bro? What's the deal? Like,
yeah.
let's put our minds together and try to figure out what
Like,
we're
why
doing
we
wrong
not there
or
yet,
what we're doing
bro?
wrong.
Like, yeah.
You know, we
of
just gonna
course.
keep wandering around the same thing. We're just gonna keep going through the same thing. We're not gonna change our thought process.
That's what they did. They
You know,
were
and
like,
it's just like relationship. You know, some people just pick some people and they're like, I'm just enjoying this time. Like,
Yep.
bro, like you're going through all this, and you're just gonna enjoy it. You're just gonna stay in it. You're not gonna try and get out of it.
but you know that, like, the problem, a lot of the issues stem from, like I'm talking about stuff about Israel now. Like, they complained, and then if you have, you know that mob mentality in a sense, when you have all these people complaining, you're like, oh yeah, we don't have that much food. They're not trying to figure out why it's happening. They start playing the blame game. Oh, this God just put us out here in the wilderness, or Moses just got us out in the wilderness for no reason, and this and that, and why are we going through this? We don't deserve it. It's never our fault. It's not like a reflect. People don't reflect on themselves.
They don't
As to
look at themselves.
why am I not proceeding properly? Why do I feel
Why am I not
lost?
succeeding?
Why am I not
Why am I in the
succeeding?
same? Why am I stagnant?
Yeah, they're not even looking at what they're
Yeah.
doing or how they're thinking. They're just like, oh no, it's got to be God's fault. It's got to
It's
be.
not.
I pray. I pray. I read my Bible. I deserve to be blessed. I deserve to be moving where I need to be moving. But what steps have you taken? Outside of praying and reading, what steps have you taken? Do you go to prayer meeting? Do you actually tarry more than just like 10 minutes of prayer?
How bad do you want it?
Can you even pray for 10 minutes? Can you
Yep.
pray for 5 minutes? Do you just pray for like 2 minutes? Or do you pray when you eat? Is that it? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I pray a little
People pray
bit.
when they eat. They say thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Hey, that's a prayer right there. Thank you, Jesus. It's like,
Bro, you gotta bless that food. You ain't even
Yeah, I'm
know
about to
where it's
say,
coming
hey,
from.
why he sound like he say thank you, Jesus? I know you don't, so I don't even know why you just said that.
but
Cut it out.
Hold on one second. Check this out. So
letting it.
somebody said the younger generation was not born in Egypt. All they know was the wilderness,
Huh?
the provision of God, and His covering. They had nothing to look back and compare to. They were willing to see what lies ahead and this great promise. So the younger generation was not born in Egypt. Yeah, we understand that because the younger generation was born in the wilderness.
In the
So
wilderness,
all they
yeah.
know about was the wilderness.
Yeah.
But a lot of us was not born, you know, like say for instance, like us. We was not born in the old tradition of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Facts.
So why do we force that into us to live that old tradition?
Yeah.
You know, and you can't like we understand like they understand the provision and everything. Yeah, now I know the provision of God. So let me have a clear blank sheet of paper
Yeah.
and live my life the way God wants me to live it, and not the way that you want to force me to do.
course.
Why are you gonna beat me to learn my ABCs? Why are you gonna beat me to learn, you know, my multiplication? I don't see the necessity in that. You know, and that's what the older generation did.
I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go
You
there.
know,
I'm about to
the
say
older
something.
generation,
I'ma let
they
that
like,
go.
they like
Say
to
it,
beat
bro.
stuff in you and try to tell you like this is the right way. Where,
Yeah.
hold
Without
on,
explaining it.
hold on. Not even and that's the thing that they don't do.
They don't
it.
explain.
And I understand
It's just
that
what they
we
were
have
taught.
our own mindset.
Yeah.
Our mind, like they say, the mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah.
So don't give me your mind.
Yeah.
I don't need your mind. God created me to be creative. He
Mm-hmm.
created me to do the same things that you have done, and I could do better. He said greater things that we should do.
Yeah.
So I can do greater than you. I don't have to do what you did, Mom. I don't have to do what you did, Dad.
Of course.
I can do better. And that's what my eyes is open up to that. Where I played football in high school and college.
Mm.
I'm not gonna force my son to do that.
Nah.
If he enjoys doing it and that's what he wants to
Gotta
do,
be
then
something you
go
want to
ahead.
do. Gotta be something
You
you
know what
want
I
to
mean?
do.
I can't force my lifestyle in my kid. And
Yeah.
a lot of parents do that.
Because nobody's the same. We're not all the same. Like you don't have to.
Exactly.
You don't have to live up to. I'm not gonna force expectations on my kid because I don't want you to live up to me. I want you to be better than me in your own way,
Yeah.
because God has a way for you that he didn't have for me. Like he has a way for me that he didn't set aside for my son or my daughter, whoever. He has a way that he set aside specifically for me. I have my own mission. You have your own mission. If I'm forcing you to do my mission,
It doesn't make
that
sense.
doesn't make any sense. I can teach you things that'll help you on your mission, but I don't have to
But
force
that's
you to do what I
that's,
did.
But that, and that's where I think that messed up, that everything messed up, is that they don't understand that you're supposed to be a guide.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be an informer, not an
That enforcer. Ooh.
You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people like to enforce.
Is that a new
these
shirt?
things.
Is that a new shirt?
I like that one.
Be
And
an informer, not an enforcer.
A lot of people
Amen.
like to enforce stuff into us and try to make us believe like this is
Yeah.
the right way, not understanding like the Lord said, listen, I have thoughts of you and they're of good. Okay, you messed your good up. Now his thoughts of me is awesome, so let me live up to my awesomeness.
Yep.
You know, let me live up to what the Bible tells us, that the older will come to bow to the younger. Esau and Jacob.
And I mean,
Okay, so you can't just sit
you can't deny that because
deny it.
they're
That's
gonna
what the Bible
they're gonna
says.
be leaders when you turn old and gray. Their job is to take over from whatever you left back. Their job is to fulfill that and finish it and either make it better or make it worse. But you're leaving everything up to the younger generation. As much as people want to be, oh, the younger generation, oh, they're all crazy.
Bro,
They're not. We used to be young.
We get no
me say we.
gratification. We get no.
I'm still young, boy. Yeah,
We
stop
get no
playing.
gratification. We get no respect. We get nothing. All of that. If we make a mistake, it's like this.
And it's like,
they're trying to put that person
Yeah.
down. Like, bruh, this is,
y'all went through
this is-
similar
this is
stuff.
A new age. Like you messed up, and nobody like that's how they treated you. You have to treat me
Be like that, exactly.
You know,
Be a
like,
better
guide
example.
me and show me how to get out of it,
Of
and
course.
how to move on, and
Of
how
course.
to be a better person.
Yeah.
You know, don't just see me in my filth or in my problem or in
then
my
be
issue.
like,
and
you
then
gotta
wanna-
loathe him,
and
you
then
gotta get
wanna-
out.
Instead of bringing me out, you're pushing me back down into it.
I'm gonna say
like-
something that's kind of it might rub people who are part of fraternities and sororities a certain way, because it's like if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they still do it, but I heard stories about how going into these things there's hazing process as a new recruit.
Say it right. You didn't say that right.
You-
Hazing is not a process.
Process
You
is
get crossed
called
over
hazing,
into
bro.
the fraternity, but some people take it to hazing, which is not
Okay.
good.
Okay. So,
So, yeah, that's the bad part of it.
they have to do certain things
Right.
in order to
Right.
become a member of things. I would just simply like, yo, pay some dues and that's it. But nah, they want you to do some extra stuff, and because they went through it as freshmen, they feel like that's what they have to do in order to bring in the young. I was like,
The
nah.
hazing part, I think the hazing part is with the negativity part, but the hazing part, there's certain aspects of is this person willing to actually be a part of the brotherhood, whether it's situation or sisterhood? Like they got to test you. So I understand there's test, like especially if you're going to be a part of that, there's going to be tests because nobody's going to let you be a part of their organization or situation if you don't really mean to be there. You're not going to benefit it. You're not going to push it forward. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get quality people to come join the organization. That's really what it is. They're trying to get quality people to come join the organization that's going to be a part of a brotherhood, sisterhood, that's going to push it forward and make sure, one, it continues, and two, like 10 years down the line, if you have a senior member who's like 79 or something like that, he comes to a reunion and sees somebody who's 24 or 18, they can still par with each other because they're from the same union. Like that's the purpose of that. It's a huge brotherhood and sisterhood. But the hazing part is the extra part. So some people, that old mindset, like, oh, we got to make sure. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust that you really want to be a part of this off of just the initial, like you said, crossover situation.
And people
But they
die
got
from
it.
that.
Of course, yeah. That's I know somebody.
It's not even necessary. Like some of the
I don't know
extremes that they
specifically.
take it to, it's just not even necessary.
Yeah,
So it's like, bro, like
But it's hazing in a lot of stuff.
When if you people don't understand, like read the Bible. Jesus was called when he was young.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't just sit there and just like, look at the younger generation
It's
and
like
just,
they're
and
not-
just condemn them and do
Facts.
them and figure like they don't have no
Sense.
saying, they don't have
Yeah.
no doing, they can't. A young person could come and change this whole world.
Of course, and don't assume that their questions are all stupid. Like
It's all stupid.
they're not. Some kids like not. I'm not gonna say not all kids. There's a lot of children who ask questions, and the reason why they're able to ask you unfiltered is because they're children. They don't know. They're still learning. They haven't experienced yet, so they're asking you unfiltered questions. Like you hiding it from, let me not tell them because he's still a child. Listen, if he's able to ask you that question, it's because
He wants to know.
there's something there that is being filtered that he needs fully understood, and you telling him, "Oh no, that you're too young for that." Oh, I
Or
can't. I
there's
can't
certain
talk to you about.
things that he's experienced and he's trying to get a clarification.
Thank you,
Clarification.
thank you. So and you know what I'm saying, and that you clarifying that can help him open
something-
up to you, or she
something
open
I
up
saw,
to you.
I saw yesterday, with my son. It's Monday, and he normally does something on Monday. And I came home yesterday, and I noticed it wasn't started and nothing wasn't done. So I didn't read the fifth or nothing like that. Let him be. So then, when the point of time came now, which is like the time when like it's about to go to bed and all that, I go, "Isn't today Monday?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I'm like, start open up, and I look, I go, "So what's going on? Why isn't it not done?" And the thing that like flattered me is not the fact that he didn't come with no excuses or nothing like that. Because when he started on I was doing something, I said, "Listen, first of all, time out. We don't make excuses. We make results."
Yep.
And he's like, "You know what? My bad, Dad. I got this. I'm gonna do it before I go to my bed." And I guarantee it was done before he went to the bed. And that's what we have to teach the younger generation: the responsibility.
Yeah.
We have to teach them like, listen, we're coming up. To you're coming up behind us, to be the new us, but you don't have to follow the steps that we took.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it the way that we did it. It's a way you could do it, where you could still benefit and we could still win.
Yeah.
And that's just to me, like, we never got that. It's just like, listen, like, this is the way it is and this is the way you have to do it. And, to me, that's like when you go around the wilderness in 40 years, that's like, bro, like, that's why your mind is just all messed up now because your mindset is just stuck like, okay, this is the way to do it and this is the way I have to do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it that way. God gave you your own free will. God gave you your own mindset to be somebody, to be that difference maker, to be a difference maker. To be honest, be the difference. Be the difference you want to see.
Don't be the same thing.
You don't have to be
Yeah.
stuck in the same mindset and the same thing that you went through. No, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I could be a better person.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I've been hurt. Yeah, I've been through some stuff. Yeah, I've faced with some things, but I don't have to be what I went through.
For sure.
I could be better than that. And we have to rise above that stuff and rise above that mindset. And to me, just moving forward, it's like let's just move forward with just being on one accord and one love and one sound mind. I don't have to do it your way. I don't have to do it the way that you want me to do it. I've seen where God used different people in the Bibles, and He never said, "Listen, Daniel, go do it the way." Even Joshua is trying to mimic Moses. And God is like, bruh, I told you, just like I was with Moses, I'm going to be with you. But I didn't tell you you're going to do the same thing Moses did.
Facts.
So why do I have to do it the way you did it? Like, I don't have my own mindset.
That's it.
And then you say, then now when I do something wrong, you say, you're not how you was your brain. Well, dog, you the one that taught me to do it.
Because if I use my brain, that would be going against what I was taught.
And they're like, "Oh, you're being fasted," or something.
Exactly. You know that a lot of times
Let's not talk about fundamental
the
principles.
new way a lot of times the reason why advancements in certain things happen is because a younger person was able to think freely and not be forced to think like how you think. You know what I'm saying? Like if you allow me to do certain things my way, it might be better than your way. And it might be more efficient. And it might be faster. You know what I'm saying? Like there might have been one way to herd cattle, and then his son was like, "Oh God, man, that takes a long time. Wouldn't it be faster if we did this, or what if we switched up this and did that and do that?" If his father is allowing him to be open minded, he's like, "Okay, cool. Let's try it."
All right, so
You never know.
Let's answer this and then we can just close off.
Yeah,
after
that's
this.
kind of long.
So it's long, but they're pretty much talking about how can we go around the foundational principles. Basically saying the greater comes based on the foundational principles and ordinance when serving God, not traditions of men. Not traditions of men. That's why Jesus said He did not come to do away with the law, but to fulfill it. Jesus made it easier for us by applying mercy, so that even when we transgress, it was not immediate judgment, but pardon was possible. How can we go around foundational principles?
But it's not about foundational principles.
It's not. You guys are just going by laws of men.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about foundational principle, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the foundation which the church was established.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, I have to follow this law because of what a man wrote.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of us is following man-made laws. Let's follow the laws of the Bible. Let's follow the laws of what what God pretty much and something. People always talk about holiness. And say, oh, holiness is like you got to be dressed with a long skirt and all that and 3-piece suit and all that. To me, that's not holiness.
That's not.
Holiness is a relationship with God. Holiness is having a lifestyle that includes God and having God with you. That's foundational.
Yeah.
That's having principles. When you live under the accord of God and you're with God 100% and you're serving God, you have different principles and you have different morals. And you don't have to go by a man-made law.
Yeah.
Jesus did say he came to fulfill the law. He didn't come to break the law. He did come to fulfill the law. But you saw the way he came.
Yeah.
You remember
A lot
that?
of us can't come like that.
You remember that story I was telling earlier, like earlier in the podcast, about the liar and the truth
Mm-hmm.
About the liar tries to dress up in truth clothing.
That's what he does.
So it's like that's how I view people who try to dress up. It's like you come in here with falsehood, and it's like you expect people to believe that you're saved and sanctified.
But honestly, like a lot of. Let me not say believe it, but let me say a lot of Christians judge you by the way you dress. They judge you by the way
you look,
and when they look at you on the outside appearance of you, and they say, "Okay, this is what you are."
It's
and that's
not
what
about your inner man,
and it has nothing to do with the outside. God said, "Let's not judge the heart."
Yeah.
So you can look at somebody that looks raggedy and look down and look like nothing, but their heart is probably purer than yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That person will take the last that they have and give it to somebody where you could have 10 of them and look at the person and be like, I'm not giving to them. And that's foundational. That's why Christ is here. That's principles of the Bible. That's why Jesus did what he did. And he said, greater works can we could do. We could do what he did and we could do more to it, but we choose not to.
People don't want it. They don't want it. You talk about people. I'm sorry, not this specific person, but people in general would speak about foundation, but never really speak on the foundation. They'll speak on like things that humans built off of the foundation, like
on
you know what I'm saying, on top of it. Excuse me. So you have just like you talking about the clothes thing, like you're supposed to accept people how they are, how they come. They'll come, however, people will come dressed wild, but as God works on them and works with them. They'll change, and it's a natural change. And I've heard testimony when we had night service and had people testifying that there was some folks that they were in the world for a long time, whatever, and they didn't really think about how they dress, they dress how they feel like. They feel like looking good, they look good, whatever. They didn't really think about what it did to other people because in the world you're saying who cares, but once they got to church and they got closer to God, it just didn't feel right to wear certain things. Why? Because for ladies are too revealing.
A relationship.
You know what I'm saying? And God was like, pull back a little, fix it up a little, close it off because you're too revealing. Or for males, you're doing too much. You're doing too much, and you're drawing in attention unnecessarily when I need you to focus on me.
You know what I'm gonna do? What we should do? We should get a panel. Get like 4 elder generation.
Oh my God!
And 4 younger generation, and have a discussion.
Hey,
no, seriously, that would be an interesting discussion because let me tell you something. Like we talk about foundational, we talk about principles, we talk about all these things. Start living it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, don't tell me about it when you're not living it.
Yeah.
Whenever we're ready, we got this. We got the things that we can use.
Oh, I know we got the things we can use just to find.
The right people.
Because it's like
willing to sit down and let's have. Like they don't like to have a discussion. They don't want to debate.
It's more like what I say is right. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear what I say is right. I want to hear.
It's not even that. It's like the old folks. They're stuck in their ways. Older folks.
Elder generation.
You know what?
Calm yourself.
The more seasoned generation.
The baby boomers.
Listen. The seasoned generation. I'm gonna go by food.
You're my season. I like that.
So the season and the more fresh. They're kind of different, but when you actually,
I think I'm gonna work. We're gonna work on that.
yeah,
We gonna work on
We're
yeah.
gonna work on that.
I don't know about the fresh thing. Because we're not really fresh still. We have some seasoning still, but it's just we need it. You know what I'm saying? We different type of spices. Different type of spices.
We different type of
Different type of spices. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, we're kind of more on the spicier
We
side.
got, we got that new age spice.
Yeah,
We're
new
more
age
on the
spice.
spicier side.
Is it
While
me?
the,
You know what somebody told me?
while somebody
I was
more,
talking to this guy. He's like a straight old school Haitian Pentecostal old school Haitian, but he's like, bro, he's like you microwave. What? Quick, he's like I live gospel. You microwave. You knew. I'm like, really? I said, bro, I'm gonna leave you alone with that conversation because I
God
can say
bless you.
something that will
God bless
blow
you.
your mind.
God bless.
Don't judge me.
That's
Don't
how,
judge me.
he judge you off looks. He judge you off looks. He like this big black man. He don't know microwave.
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 Like, bro, I'm
The
not
quick thing.
microwave, like,
The quick
I
thing.
live something.
I'm from the oven.
You don't
Take
you
some
don't-
time.
He like pretty much
Facts.
saying like he was developed.
He
Like,
was-
I was just like rushed into it. Like
He's built because he's older.
He's
you
a
know
pressure
something,
cooker.
Like when I speak to folks and I talk to like people, I don't even use like my title or nothing like that.
Yeah, you just speak.
They'll like check out the YouTube page or they see something like, bro, you a minister? I go,
You're
yeah.
a deacon.
How come you don't never like talk? I said, no, I don't
It's
need
not.
to.
It's not important.
It's not. That's the
That's
title. The
not what
title
I-
make me who I am.
Yeah,
God
exactly.
made
God
me who I am,
exactly.
So I have to use the God that's inside of
My
me, not a title.
my conversation shows you a lot about me.
Yeah,
My demeanor shows you a lot about me. But
And that's what it is.
you hear my title, then you automatically you switch your language, you switch how you are towards me.
Yeah,
you're not
'cause
your
then
real
now
self.
now you're not gonna be yourself.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
you're
want
gonna be like,
you
oh,
to
he
yourself.
a church
Yeah.
guy. I can't.
Yeah.
But be yourself, so I can
I
show you the way.
I like those two words, foundational and principles. I'm gonna do something with that.
Yeah, man.
But it's been awesome. It's been real. Daniel,
Hold on, what's that? What's the shirt? What's the shirt idea? We got to take.
No, we got it, bro.
We got all right, it's in there. It's in there.
Yeah, we're gonna be informing, not enforcers.
Be informers,
Yeah,
not enforcers.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Just a Conversation.
Just go.
Oh man, that's crazy.
All right. Last words. When it comes to your blessings
Appreciate
and your winnings and your path, we are our biggest distraction. We are our biggest roadblock, problem. You have to get past self and get to God. Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead. Oh, you just giving it to him. Yes, sir. Amen. I felt that one. I felt that one. I felt it when I said it to him. I'm like, okay, sir.
I thought someone was talking to him.
Hey, look, I'm talking to myself, baby. That's it. Get out your way, Daddy. That's it, baby. Amen. Hallelujah. All right.
Matthew.
All right.
Keep going through it, cause
Hey, shout my I felt it. I am my own roadblock. Get out your way, Dad.
Wow.
Amen. I'm telling you.
That's a shirt right here.
Hey, hold on. I'm about to catch it. Let me get out the camera. I'm about to catch it. Hold on now. I feel it. I'm so serious. I feel it heavy. Go ahead.
all right.
Matthew.
You feel
Yeah,
me?
Brother Matt. Get it off real quick.
So, the topic tonight was God makes it easy, we make it hard for ourselves. Generalize it. And it's like, I know this with myself because I can only really talk about myself because I'm the closest to me. And it's like, that most of whatever I go through is because I either put self-doubt, pride, or something as a hindrance to myself.
Mm-hmm.
The walls that I mentioned earlier is in the podcast. It's my own self depreciate. What's the word I'm looking for?
Self-inflicted.
No, it's not
Self-created?
Yeah, it's self-created walls that I put up because yes, a person can hurt you, but at the same time, I've seen people who've been hurt that still was able to love the people. My grandmother is my big example.
You hear that right there?
It's like even when she was hurt by family, she still ended up being the one who took care of folks who didn't mean anything any good by her. And it's like, if she could do that, why is it I'm making small issues become such major hindrances to myself? And it's like, I feel like not just myself, but anybody who is connecting with it, is like, mostly the issues that you go through in life, yes, they may seem as if it's somebody else, but you got to look past that, because in life, it's not just what is in front of you is that you're going to be facing. It's everything that's not within sight that you also have to deal with. And most of those situations are self-inflicted issues, because as long as you're willing to like leave it to God, just they said blind faith. Kids have until a certain age, everything that you say to your kids, they suck it up as truth. That's that blind faith that we have to go back to when it comes to God. I know it's hard because we think we've arrived and we're able to see more, we're able to understand more. But at the same time, you got to remember who has brought you from your youth to your adulthood. Who was the one who, when everybody else is meant you no good, was there? Who was there when you were in those dark periods where your mind taking you a certain place, like committing suicide, and who brought you through it? Again, you got to leave it to God, because regardless of how rough the situation is, He's making it easy for you. That's it.
I think Brother Matthew felt it this week.
Ooh, felt it.
It came on for you and jumped on the
I
head.
see that. He just threw grandma in there, boy. I tell you, boy,
grandma
don't do
there.
that. Chill out. Chill out.
Sleep in peace, grandma.
Boy, trying to get me crying on this podcast, dog.
Grandma did her thing.
She did. She definitely did. She was sweet on
And
it.
that's what you call foundation. When you have someone that's you said that's been hurt, that's been through the hurt, that's seen the hurt, and guess what? They still did what? Good.
They still love them.
Still love
Still
them.
did what? They still did good.
And that's an example that foundational example that you can teach
You can
your
teach
grandkids,
and then you can
great
also
grandkids.
you can live on those principles. You know
Of
why?
course.
Because that's what they did to Jesus.
Yeah,
They spat at him, they beat him,
yeah.
and he
He
still loved them. He still loved them no matter what.
Yep.
Because he said, "Listen, even though you're beating me, even though you're doing all these things to me,
You don't know why you're doing it.
it's not even that. I still have something I have to do, and I have to die for your sins.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have to go through the process. I got to go through these things. I got to face them.
And this is a part of it.
And when I'm facing them, I got to still have love in my heart.
Oh gosh.
And that's the hard thing. A lot of us cannot do it. And that's why we keep going around the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Because we get hurt and we go through it. And guess what? When we get hurt, we find a way to bottle that hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And we hold on to it. So it's like, okay, this person hurt me. I'm going to bottle it. I'm going to put it right there. I ain't get rid of it. But I talk about, I forgive them. No, you didn't. We still have that hurt.
Yeah.
And it causes us to make our path harder. It causes us to make our path hard, for us to keep moving and keep growing. It causes us to be stuck in a mindset and be stuck in one place. And, for us to get out of that place, we have to understand that we have been given a mindset for us to be free. We could free ourselves from anything that we go through. Mm-hmm. The reason why stuff is hard for us is because we keep going around the same wilderness, just like the children of Israel, and we're not learning. When we start learning and start understanding that we're putting ourselves through our own hurts, we're putting ourselves through our own issues that we go through and the hurt that we feel, we're putting ourselves through it, then we understand that we can stop blaming God for everything and understand that God is trying to help us over that hurt. It could have been worse. But guess what? He kind of cushioned it for us.
For sure.
You went through the hurt. It could have been worse, but he kind of cushioned it for us.
Yeah.
So let's get our mindset and get our mind ready to understand that, we have to take ourselves out of some of the situations that we put ourselves in. If you go out there and rob a bank and you get caught, guess what? You're going to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you do something wrong, it's going to be some repercussion to it.
Of course.
And then we just keep falling in the same track and we keep going down the same road. Let's be the difference. Let's be that difference we want to see, and let's live the difference we want to live. We want to see. So don't forget to hop over to our YouTube page, Just a Conversation. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like.
Business inquiries, go to.
And also don't forget you can find us on every platform, podcast platform. Stitcher, Google Podcast, Spotify. We're on there, Just a Conversation. And you can hit us up at justaconversation1@gmail.com. Also on Instagram, just_a_conversation.
Also, RV Productions. Just know RVProductions.com is our website. If you do want any inquiries about businesses, media, anything media, videography, photography, whatever you need, we can handle and take care of it. All right. So as we always like
It's
to
been
say,
awesome. It's been real. It's just a conversation where we say hashtag
talk about it. Yes, baby. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. You feel me?